Sports and games. The important thing is not to win, but to take part. This corny quotation is used at school, sometimes at work, and more or less for every situation and activity, including sports and games. This time, we are going to dip into different types of sports and give you some facts that you might not know. Listen carefully and welcome to our new episode.
Sloboda je kľúčom k nezávislosti. No, čo sloboda znamená pre teba? Štvorka ťa nebude obmedzovať. Sloboda pre mladých nie je len paušál. Sú to otvorené dvere do nového slobodného života. Tak daj záväzky bokom a prejdi do štvorky. Voľné minúty, SMS-ky a mobilné dáta dostaneš už za 4 eurá mesačne, a to bez viazanosti. Všetko vyriešiš pohodlne na webe slobodapremladých.sk alebo v mobilnej appke Moja štvorka. Stačí, aby si mal potvrdenie o štúdiu. Tak na čo ešte čakáš?
Sport is a highly discussed topic among people today. And as always, there are only two camps. There are those who love sport and do it regularly for pleasure, together with professionals who dedicate their lives to sport. And then there are those who hate any movement and everything connected to sport. In the past, sport was not that popular or discussed in public. It was rather a natural thing for those who had enough time and energy to do sport in their free time. Based on the lower risk of health problems than nowadays, we can assume that the population back then didn't pay so much attention to these activities specifically. The absence of technology and devices enabled children to socialize and play outside with their peers. Today, the population is literally obsessed with technology that causes problems leading to obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, and much more. Scientists and doctors try to promote sport and a healthy lifestyle more in order to make people think about doing something for their physical and mental health. Sport and games might sometimes be confused, but there is a slight difference, with physical activity being typical for sport, whereas games are supposed to be a fun competition with set rules. Of course, sport also includes competition and performance, and professional sport requires rules, unlike games, which are supposed to be entertaining. Every generation likes different kinds of sports. Older ones loved playing ice hockey, football or basketball, and nowadays badminton, playing with a frisbee or tennis, are popular sports among children. Leisure activities connected to sport are very beneficial for the mental and physical health of children and adults. How often do you do sports? Yes, everyone should do something more for themselves than walking to the fridge and eating fine meals. We don't realise the value and good feeling we get from sport unless we try it and do it regularly. The hormones produced during this activity bring you the feeling of happiness, and you won't suffer from sleepless nights. Your stamina and energy will grow, and your appetite for life will motivate you to overcome all the obstacles in your path. Additionally, you are guaranteed to gain a perfect shape, which goes, of course, hand in hand with a balanced diet. Do you need any other reasons why sport is so amazing? Okay, maybe one more. You can meet new people and make good friends with the same interests, so your social life will improve as well as your passion for sport among people who enjoy a similar activity. What kind of sports do you know? Hopefully, you didn't think of coaching, which belongs to a completely different category of passive sports. Sports can be divided into several types. Indoor sports like gymnastics, swimming, basketball, table tennis, boxing, badminton or wrestling can be played whenever you are in the mood to do these sports in any season. If you have the will, you will never be bored, and if you are a student, be ready for discounts with your student card. Sports will teach you discipline, accuracy and patience. Performance and results don't appear from one day to the next. Only time will tell if your persistence is strong and long-term. These sports and their matches can also be watched from the tribune, where only your vocal cords are needed to cheer on the sportsman. Does being stuck inside get on your nerves? In this case, we recommend you focus on outdoor sports like football, skiing, hiking, mountaineering, water skiing, cycling or sailing. We know they are packed with adrenaline, but if you are brave enough to overcome your fear and challenge yourself, there is a high probability that your free time will be exciting and riveting. There are many options for hiking in Slovakia and the surrounding countries, and the advantage is that everything is close and relatively low cost. If you are a winter enthusiast, don't miss the chance to do winter sports outside or inside. Skiing is popular all over the world. Even schools offer 1-week courses for this sport. Europe is full of mountains where skiers can enjoy the adrenaline of fast skiing in the Alps, Pyrenees, or the High Tatras in Slovakia. If you aren't good at skiing, there is also an alternative solution. Ski-boarding is much easier to learn than skiing and gives you the opportunity not to fall behind your friends while providing the same excitement as other sports. But what about those who are afraid to do skiing or ski-boarding? In our opinion, there is one beloved sport that is popular with everyone, kids or adults, young or old. Can you guess which sport we're talking about? Oh yes, it's sledging. The easiest and most fun way of spending the winter season outside. When you sledge down a high hill, you have to walk back quite a lot, and that's why we advise you to go sledging with your friends, to make it more fun and have people to talk to. However, if there is not enough snow, go to the ice rink, where you should be careful, because falling down can cause serious injuries, as in any sport. Outdoor ice rinks during the Christmas time have a romantic atmosphere, so don't hesitate and take your friends with you next time. People prefer different seasons, and those who don't like winter favour summer sports like cycling, swimming, golf and football. Nature is blooming, the sun is shining, and the days are getting longer. Cycling is becoming more and more popular and accessible to everyone. This sport, beneficial for the joints, knees and the whole body, offers perfect moments wherever you take your bicycle and your helmet. If you want to cool down on hot summer days, go swimming in lakes or swimming pools where you can relax to the fullest, but be careful when sunbathing. The critical time when you can get burnt is around lunchtime, from 12 till 3 p.m. Golf is another summer sport known as a posh sport for rich players, and typical for hosting business meetings on the golf course. Many people consider golf a boring sport, requiring lots of concentration. Golf can be trained or played individually, and this is another categorization of sports. Individual sports demand the presence of one player who focuses on performance and individual steps. Such sports are, for example, gymnastics, running, cycling, swimming, or skiing. If you prefer teamwork and you like the feeling of support from your co-players, try sports like ice hockey, football, basketball, or baseball, where cooperation as a team is the most important element. Team games and sports bring more fun, but also responsibility. There are many options. All you have to do is choose the right one. Sport is a topic discussed mostly among men. They go to matches or watch them on TV. Fans always have something to say about the correct or incorrect moves of professional sportsmen who do their best to win the game or get a point. Every country is obsessed with a different sport. Slovak spectators like to watch football and ice hockey at pubs, complete with glasses of beer and loud comments. Sports experts express their gratitude or dissatisfaction depending on the specific moment of the match. Slovakia lives for ice hockey. Slovak flags hang from terraces and balconies. Typical Slovak songs are played on the radio to encourage our national teams to play a better game. We still celebrate the World Cup victory of 2002. Our stadiums are full of fans with flag-painted cheeks and banners. Other countries enjoy different sports. For example, England is crazy about the national sport of cricket or football and rugby. All the fans meet at restaurants and bars to cheer on popular clubs such as Liverpool, Manchester or Chelsea. The most important match is the Cup final, played at Wembley Stadium. America's favourite sport is American football. That has different rules from the classic football we know in Europe, so-called soccer in American English. Other sports like basketball, baseball or ice hockey are also very popular in America, with leagues in the National Basketball Association or National Hockey League. Fans buy tickets for every match, and it's broadcasted worldwide. The Super Bowl is the biggest sports event in America, and is known for performances by famous singers and bands and huge showtime during the break. Millions of people come to visit, and even more millions watch the event online. In America, sport is also popular in the virtual world of consoles, such as PlayStation, with games inspired by sports, for example the NHL. The Xbox console also lets players do sport in football games. Professional sports people love to be encouraged by their fans, but the criticism of what they should have done better in previous matches or instructions given from people other than their own coach are difficult to listen to. Being a sportsman isn't easy. It's hard work, requiring sweat, long hours of training, exhaustion and injuries, which are all part of the journey to becoming a famous sportsperson. For the time they dedicate to it, sports people deserve all that huge money they earn, even though they are criticized for business in sport. Training and mental preparation are important to achieve the dream goal, but this can often lead to health problems and long-term dysfunction. Injuries or a lack of stamina are sometimes substituted by doping, which is forbidden in professional sport. Doping ends up in a bad reputation and disqualification. Stamina and physical fitness are great when young. However, sports people usually finish their professional activity around the age of 35 to 40 and continue their careers as coaches or advisors. They help their successors achieve success, and they probably come to understand the origins and the value of sport when coaching. The first Olympic Games, which nowadays take place in different countries every 4 years, were very different. The Olympics originated in ancient Greece, and only men could participate in the competitions. Can you imagine looking at ancient naked sportsmen competing against each other? Of course, muscular bodies are nice to look at, but treating women who fainted from this excitement is unthinkable these days. The Olympic Games were abolished in the 4th century AD, and only later in the 19th century were they revived as a sporting event for countries to compete against each other in many disciplines. Despite the competition, the symbols of the Olympic Games are the Olympic rings that represent the unity of 5 continents, and the Olympic fire that is lit at the beginning of the Games. What else can we say about sport? If you are a lover of swimming, we are sure you were able to swim in different styles, like breaststroke, backstroke, crawl, or butterfly. Remember, swimming is supposed to be the best sport for developing the whole body, so it is really worth trying and practicing. People are sometimes too lazy to do sport, and the solution for passive sport is chess, which is becoming increasingly popular with its logic and elegance. If you don't know anything about chess, we recommend you watch the mini-series The Queen's Gambit, which can motivate you to start this exciting sport. What if you crave adrenaline sports? In this case, you should definitely try bungee jumping or parkour, characteristic for jumping and running over obstacles such as building or walls. Downhill biking or cave diving allows you to feel freedom and independence at the same time. However, be careful. Not everyone is able to do these sports due to their health. Skiing might be considered a dangerous and adrenaline sport too. If you go skiing and you are an advanced skier, you should go to a giant slalom, do downhill racing, or ski jumps. Dear listeners, in this episode we have described all the types of sports which differ according to the season or space where they are done. Doing sport professionally requires a huge effort, a sacrifice of time for training, as well as the internal strength to resist the temptation of doping. Watching or doing sport actively is a form of relaxation for some people, provoking discussions and motivating them to work on their lifestyles. Thank you very much for listening, and we will be delighted if you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or write a comment on YouTube. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. We hope you listen to us again soon.